Oh, a bullshit artist. Did you bullshit last week?
No.
Did you try to bullshit last week?
Yes.
We're going to talk about a guy that I think is really special, really cool.
You're so full of fucking shit, Paul, it's coming out your ears. The only reason you think he is special and cool is because you saw he has almost 300,000 subs and you want a piece of that so bad you can taste it. If he was just an average schmo on YouTube, you wouldn't be making this video. Nice video title, by the way. Looks like you're attempting to show up in search results when people type in his name and YouTube channel. Too bad it's not going to work and your video is going to get buried on page 299 somewhere. Trying to poach someone else's subscribers is wild, but let's continue.
I looked at his subscribers. He has over 250,000 subscribers. You don't get 250,000 subscribers by being a bullshit artist.
It all depends on what kind of bullshit it is that you're slinging. If we're talking about your kind of bullshit, then yes, that is not the way to a few 100,000 subscribers.
It got me thinking, and I was thinking, oh yeah. And then having a picture of myself, on the t-shirt, and then on the back he says, put down, let's start something on fire, So I don't know. And then a bunch of subscribers chipped in and they were like, yeah, man, you should do that.
Paul, you really need to learn when people are just blowing smoke up your ass. I don't have the screenshot of the bunch of subscribers saying that because it's late and I'm lazy, but if you're wondering how much a bunch of subscribers is, it's 2 people. And those 2 people are probably just fucking with him. But in Paul's mind, it was 200 people all knocking down the door for a Oh Yeah Pipe Smokers mug and t-shirt. I can't wait for this venture to crash and burn, like everything else he does. So anyway, I'm making my own merch. You can see it on the screen right now. The front of the t-shirt says booze, blessings, and bullshit. They are going to be super limited. I'm having exactly 0 made and 0 available for order.
Oh, man. So George, Mr. Bruno, do I get a free haircut for the plug here on your channel? I'm in need of one. Normally I keep it at like number 1 faded up to a 2, up to like leave it a little longer on the top so I can do it up like Elvis Presley kinda.
He's not joking here, folks. He's actually going to try and weasel his way in with George. Because as I mentioned in my last video, Paul craves attention. And George has what Paul wants, and that's lots of subscribers. Fucking guy really expects a free haircut for a video that so far only 165 people have seen. Yeah, that seems like a fair trade. Let me tell you how this is going to play out if George takes the bait. Sooner or later, he will find out what Paul is and what he says and does, and he will distance himself. Paul will then never mention George's name again and will pivot onto the next thing.
There's nothing wrong with drinking beer. As long as you keep it under control, not going in smelling like alcohol in the morning or missing work or being stupid, drinking and driving, none of that stuff. If you're at home and you want to have a few beers, in my opinion, that's okay, as long as you don't develop a problem with it. When it starts causing problems, it's time to ditch that habit,
You're not wrong, Paul. There is nothing wrong with having a few beers at night. But just for reference, the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse classifies 5 beers a night as heavy drinking. You're doubling that, my guy. You admitted in your own comment section to drinking 10 to 11 per night. Watching you sit and try to justify being a functioning alcoholic is so sad, man. It really is.
I had to go back and ask my children, I had to ask my both wives to forgive me for the mistakes that I made. I didn't bring any of the ones up that they made, or I didn't bring any of the stuff up saying, well, it's because you did this that I reacted that way. I just went and manned up and owned it and said, I'm sorry for doing this, and this. Will you forgive me?
That's not how that works, Paul. You shouldn't put your children in situations where they have to forgive you. You're the father. and then you sit there and pretend to be the bigger person for not throwing stuff in their face. What a piece of shit. You're only kidding yourself. They didn't forgive you. That's why you're attempting to speed run forgiveness from God. If there was forgiveness, that house would be full of kids and grandkids, and instead it's just you surrounded by bags of empty beer cans. This next clip was supposed to be near the beginning of the video, but I messed up, so I'm just throwing it here. Paul is claiming that he watched George's videos on and off for the last few years, yet just subscribed to him a day ago. Yeah, that's completely normal, right? Who wants to bet that Paul had no fucking clue who George was before he found out how many subs he had? Dude spent the entire day researching about George just so he can come home and make a video glazing him. And that's basically what the entire video is besides what I clipped. It's just Paul glazing George in the hopes he can mooch subs and get attention.
I've been following him on and off for, a few years.